Ladies and gentlemen, we are victorious like Nickelodeon. Shout out to that show. But we have won. Bologna 0, Juventus 1. I was in a great mood. I still am with the win. But I'm so frustrated because this is the second time I'm recording this match review. The first time the audio cut off. So I just wasted a bunch of time. And now we're here again. And the videos come out later for all of you. But we won and that's the main thing. Huge win. This was like a must-needed victory. And the boys pulled through today. Perfect. There's not really much to fault in this game on our behalf. Honestly, it was almost a pitch perfect game. Like the film. Look at all these references I'm coming up with today. But as always, let me know in the comment section what you thought about the game. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're so close to 20k subs. Thank you so much for 15k. Honestly, super surreal. Close to 20 though. So if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, shame on you. Click that big red button. Like the video if you enjoyed. Share it to some friends. And without further ado, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. And let's break it down, right? Ball possession, 51% for them, 49% for us. 2% difference. It was really, really even in terms of ball retention throughout from both teams throughout the game. Overall, we did more with the ball, so it doesn't really matter. They had 0.65 expected goals to our 1.6. We create better chances. They had 12 total shots. We had 13. They had one big chance. We had 4. And at the end of the day, their one big chance was a really, really good save from Di Gregorio from their right back, I believe, which hit the bar, but yeah, that was it. They a couple pop shots from Orsolini, Bernardeschi when he came on Castro. They didn't cause much problem. If you look at the momentum at halftime, it was pretty even, but in my opinion, Bologna were quite fortunate that it was a draw at halftime. I went into that half being very frustrated that we weren't winning. I thought we were very, very unlucky. My only criticism from the game really was like the final ball. We were lacking that throughout the game, specifically in the first half. We just couldn't get the final pass correct. Couple poor decisions in the final third from our behalf, which would have put us up at halftime for sure. But overall, as I said, very dominant performance from Juventus. And what changed everything were the substitutions from Mr. Luciano Spalletti, bringing on this man, Juan Cabal, and bringing on this man, Lois Openda, who had an incredible game. Let's first touch upon Juan Cabal, of course, the goal scorer, because his goal was the difference between 1 point and 3 points today. And it was a really, really good header. Now, corner kick comes about. I see Kenan on it. I'm thinking, whip it in there like swimwear, put in a decent cross, put it in the mixer. Let's see what happens. They go for the short with Conceição. And honestly, I don't like shorts. I like shorts on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. I don't like short corners. So I'm thinking, here we are again. Wasted cross. No. Conceição lays it back to Kenan. Kenan puts in the most perfect cross ever. The most pitch perfect, the most, I don't know, inch perfect cross you'll see, with pace, with power, with whippage, right in the mixer, onto Juan Cabal's beautiful skull, who knocks it down, bounces in, and it's a really good header. And let me not lie, just before Luciano Spalletti made these 2 subs, I tweeted, right, subs, we need to be proactive in this game. This game is here for the taking. We can win it. And then I see Openda and Cabal. I'm thinking, Openda I get. Cabal, I'm like, bro, he's coming on for Cambiaso, I could tell, because Cambiaso wasn't having the best performance, right? And I was like, why don't we just bring on Kostic? He's more suited to that. Cabal's not an out-and-out wing-back. He's more a left-back and a full-back or a left-sided centre-half. He hasn't looked fully fit this season. He's had, obviously, he scored, I think, who did he score against at home? You guys will remember. Atalanta. He scored the equaliser. But that was it. After that, the performances he's had post that injury was just a bit meh, you know? But today, Cambiaso was tired and not on it. And Cabal was absolutely incredible. Defensively really good. Offensively really good. Of course, came up clutch with that goal. But not only that, the chance towards the end where Ronaldo chops inside. I didn't even know he had that skill unlocked. I didn't even know he could do that, right? Didn't know he had 4-star skills. And he lays it across to Openda, who should probably score, but it was a really good save from Ravaglia anyway. But we can't forget Lois Openda, again, perfect sub. This was his best performance for me in a Juventus shirt today. For me, this was Openda's best performance because he offered so much. He offered so much. And Openda was the perfect player to bring on against this Bologna team. And Spalletti read the game extremely well. He got it spot on, 100%. A-star, A+ performance from Spalletti as the manager. Because throughout the whole game, if you notice, guys, Bologna were playing a very high line. Now, in the Serie A, it's very rare that a team plays a high line. Of course, we probably assume that Italiano's been studying Hansi Flick's Barcelona tactics, but it's very rare that an Italian team plays a high line. Oh, shoot. Kicked the LED, my bad. They play a mid block, a low block, right? And Openda, I feel for Openda at times because Openda is a striker who his game relies on his pace, his burst of acceleration, his speed, right? His unpredictability in behind, which is a useful asset. But in the Serie A, that asset is often nullified by the mid to low blocks, as I just said. For example, right, when he came on the pitch against Napoli, 1-1, they just scored though. It was like, they go into their mid to low block. It was a low block when they were 2-1 up to defend the win, right? That's Antonio Conte. Bringing on Openda there, he's going to struggle because he's not a very creative player. He can't create a chance from nothing, okay? He doesn't have that match-winning ability like, say, Kenan Yildiz has or Eden Hazard had or, I don't know, Cherki has or Saka has. You know, these kind of players here in the world. Lamine Yamal, that can just, they do the giocata. They can do the play. They can create a chance from nothing, okay? Openda's not one of those players. And very few out-and-out strikers actually can do that, right? Suarez comes to mind with his playmaking ability. But what I'm saying is very few strikers can actually do that, full stop. And Openda's not one. So against Napoli, he was never going to impact the game. But today, boy, he probably should have started. I'm not going to lie. But I don't even think Spalletti expected Italiano's Bologna to be in such a high line. I didn't expect it, for sure. In the game, I was thinking, guys, these guys are here to be exploited. We should be bullying these lot. We should easily win. Because they were playing such a high line for the whole game, bro. And Lukumi, Hadjem, these guys, Miranda, they're not very quick. So it was like, exploit them. The game's 0-0. Of course, Openda comes on. His pace changes everything. Little run in behind. Very intelligent turn from him. Gets in front of Hadjem, who fouls him. Last man, straight red. Clear decision. Very simple. They go down to 10 men. The game's pretty much sealed from there. Other chances towards the end. As I said, the save when Cabal cut it across. The one-on-one, which he should be scoring. When the defender makes a mistake in the 93rd minute, he skies it. That's the one thing that frustrates me a bit with Openda, is finishing. He needs to work on his finishing because he's got the pace, he's got the power. He's almost got that like Mbappe-esque acceleration, but Mbappe's got the ruthless finishing. Mbappe's Mbappe is the best player in the world, okay? Or up there, top 2, top 3, right? Wherever you want to put him. And Openda obviously isn't that, right? But what I'm saying is if he can just work on his finishing, he's a very dangerous striker. And today, against this high line, it's perfect. Problem is, not many teams in Italy play with a high line, so it's frustrating. Overall, though, as I said, lots of positives to take. Another big positive is the return of this man here, Gleison Bremer, who is our best defender, who we missed like air, you know? I need Bremer in the defense like I need a sip of water right now. See that? Intelligent sort of pause for water from me. But yeah, Bremer looked sharp when he came on. Of course, still adapting a good 15-16 minutes under the belt for him. But overall, really good performance. Spalletti got his subs completely accurate. One criticism would probably be the VAR room. Again, I hate to blame the VAR room, but for me, Lukumi, he was lucky to be on the pitch. He was at, let's say, the centre, the heart of the crime. Well, two separate crimes. First one being in the first half. Push on David in the back. Suddenly you can push players in the back. Guys, I never knew about this rule change. You can push someone in the back and it's not a foul. Everyone knows. If you push someone in the back, it's a foul. Whether it was one hand, which Lukumi did, or two hands, it's a foul. And it was done in the box. So for me, I was like, wow, I was a little bit set back and I was thinking, okay, VAR will check this. It will be a pen for us. No. I don't blame the ref. Sometimes you miss things. Okay, the lino probably should have said, look, refo, have a word. But the VAR room need to tell him, yo, Mazza or Massa. I think the ref was called Massa, Davide Massa. You need to go have a look. He didn't have a look. And we move on. And then the second one was on Conceição, bro. Okay, was it a pen? No, probably went down a bit easy, Conceição. But he's on the ground. You know how it is. Time wasting. Wingers do this all the time. Lukumi picks him up and body slams him, bro. Like this is Roman Reigns. Like this was John Cena's farewell. That was last night, bro. Wrong date. Like this was John Cena, bro. Body slamming him. I don't know, man. I what's all that? Turned heel or something. Lukumi, that was a red, bro. And of course, they already had a red card at the time. And I don't know if the ref didn't see it. I think if the ref spotted that, he's given a red. But why is the VAR room not telling him, yo, go check that? So the referees, the VAR room was doing my head in. But anyway, Di Gregorio, It says here he got player of the match. I don't know if he won it. I didn't actually see who the Serie A player of the match was, but he made some good saves, especially the one on the bar from Zortea. Kalulu really comfortable at the back, led the lines well. Led with conviction, brought the ball out from the back really well, offered experience, was telling guys to time waste. I like that from him. Gave us a lot going forward. Lloyd Kelly, for me, one of his best performances this season. Last two, especially against Napoli, was a bit... We all know he got done by Højlund on his near post. But today he looked very positionally aware, and he was winning all his duels. He looked very comfortable at the back. He led the lines well. So great performance from Kelly today, I have to say. Crew Miners, for me, not great today. He was struggling in the first half, specifically with Zortea and Orsolini, who have a really good connection. Got booked very early on, so I was a bit worried that he could potentially get sent off. So I think Spalletti did well to sub him off. Maybe a little bit too late. I would have subbed him off a little bit earlier because of the yellow, but overall fine. But for me, now that Bremer is back and Regani's back fit, Crew Miners shouldn't play here no more. Kelly here, Bremer down the middle, or Regani here, Bremer down the middle. It's not Crew Miners' natural position. McKennie, for me, this rating is very harsh. He was one of the best players on the pitch, brought energy, brought urgency, covered so much ground, bro. He was like the Pacific Ocean today, covered so much ground, absolutely excellent. Relentless press, especially in the first half. The disallowed goal that was offside, he was offside, but he pressed the keeper so hard, won the ball, and sweated it really well to David, who originally made it 1-0. And that was just him in a tee, really, throughout the whole game. He offered so much going forward, a lot defensively. He worked really hard, of course, playing as a right wing-back today. But he done his thing, man. He done his job, man. It kind of says a lot. Joao Mario, for example, natural wing-back that we signed, isn't even getting in the team. And he's a natural wing-back. And McKennie, who isn't a wing-back, is getting there. So McKennie's been doing his thing. Locatelli, I thought today, played good. He completed the most passes, and I thought Locatelli was intelligent and really lucid on the pitch, because he sort of noticed, guys, look at their high line, and he was spraying long balls. Some obviously worked, some didn't. That's football. But I think even like Spalletti, the camera panned to him in one moment. He was like over the top, because the gaps were there. Thuram just brought physicality in the midfield, was comfortable on the ball, drove well. I just think he needs to work on his final shot. A couple times in the first half where he lets off weak shots or can take an extra touch, that sort of decision making, but that will come naturally. Also read a couple rumours today. We're swapping Fratesi for Thuram. Chiellini before the game put that rubbish to bed. Come on, man, be serious. We're not swapping Kefren Thuram for Fratesi. Get the hell out of it. If Inter want Kefren Thuram, they got to give us like 100 mil plus Lautaro plus Bastoni maybe. Get out of here. And then I'll consider it. Andrea Cambiaso, for me, wasn't out to the races today. I thought Cabal came on and raised the level, so I thought Spalletti did well to sub him off 7. How have FotMob rated Cambiaso above McKennie and Kalulu? That's crazy to me. Conceição on the right, he can be frustrating at times, because for me, Miranda was there for the taking. His decision-making in the final third still needs to be refined. He needs to be able to get the shot off quicker, in my opinion, Conceição. But still, he was pressing. He was trying to create something. I would have loved to have seen Zagrova today. I think Zagrova really would have flourished against that high line. But Conceição was still good regardless. Of course, Kenan Yildiz, for me, got the assist. It was a beautiful cross, as I already stated. But just continuously trying to create stuff. Trying to be on the front foot. Trying to be at the heart of stuff. And I think in the second half, he improved massively. First half, he was getting dealt with quite well. Who I'm going to touch upon their player in a second. But second half, he improved. And Jonathan David, 5.8 is a little bit harsh. 5.8 is harsh. Yeah, I think his final ball he needs to work on. But overall, it was there. He was trying to link up play. His first touch was there today. He was trying to cause some problems. It's just against a high line, someone like a Pender, a striker with different characteristics, suits them a bit better. That was the fact of the matter. So overall, perfect performance from Juventus. I will touch upon Bologna quickly, because there are a couple of players that I do rate. Orsolini today wasn't fully there, in my opinion. But for me, their best player by a mile was Zortea. This guy here, guys, I have to be honest, he could be a potential signing in the summer for us. He was excellent as a right-back. Defensively, really, really good. Offensively, offers a lot as well. Of course, he hit the bar. But let me tell you something. I haven't seen Kenan struggle against many fullbacks. I haven't. But today, Zortea, specifically in the first half, locked him up. Because Kenan was one-on-one with Zortea a lot. And Zortea did really, really well. And beat him the majority of the times. That's why I said in the second half, Kenan raised his level. Because Kenan began to drift in centrally. And start causing problems to Moro and Hedgem. Do you understand? So Zorteo was left less one-on-one with Kenan. Kenan was intelligent. Because in the first half, this guy here, he was putting a gabbia around him, like a little jail. He did really well. It could be a potential signing in the summer because for me, we need some more reinforcements on the right-hand side. I've read we want Palestra currently on loan at Cagliari from Atalanta, but they're going to charge like 65 million because we're Juventus. Bologna will probably want 40 million for this guy. But still, he's a good little player. I haven't seen much of him this season, but I was really impressed from him. But overall, as I said, guys, brilliant performance from Juventus. Can't fault the team whatsoever. Now, I do want to go onto the table real quick because, as I said, this was a must-needed win. And these 3 points take us into 5th currently. 1 point above Bologna, who we beat today. 1 point off Roma, who are playing tomorrow against Como, which is a perfect game. A lot of results have gone our way this weekend. All we need tomorrow is a draw. If Como win, they go above us. We don't want that. If Roma win, they go 4 points clear. We don't want that. We need a draw. And a draw is realistic. Yes, Roma battered Celtic. I watched that up to Celtic. I do like Celtic. They're my favourite Scottish team. But Celtic, let's be real, they're not all there. Como are better than Celtic. And I know Como got battered last week by Inter, but turn it around, Fabregas. Get us a result. I actually don't know if this game is at the Olimpico. It is at the Olimpico. Okay, it's going to be tough for Como. But a draw they could do. They beat us. Como are decent. They got Paz. That's it. They got Paz. Paz on their prayer. But still, that could be enough to beat Roma. I'm not convinced with Roma. Look, 2 losses in a row. A win is possible, but look, what I'm hoping for is a draw there because we got to play Roma next week at the stadium. And if we win that, we go into top 4 on Christmas. Boom! And then the ball is in our court. Milan, they drew today. Luckily. Napoli lost, which is annoying me because we could have beaten them and they got battered in midweek in the Champions League. I'll do a whole Serie A recap actually tomorrow because there's a lot of stuff I want to touch upon. But right now, we're chilling in the table. It's a very good position. And as I said, so many positives to take, guys. So many positives. From Di Gregorio, who made a lot of good saves. From Kelly at the back, who looked super comfortable. From the tactical substitutions from Spalletti, who got them spot on today. From the return of Bremer, which is the second biggest dub after the actual dub today, which was incredible news. So yeah, perfect performance. Great win. I'm happy, you're happy, everyone's happy. And my mic's working now, so I can actually upload this video. Hopefully I don't have to re-record it for the 3rd time or else I might just not upload. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you thought. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed. Share it to some friends and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.